Sentry versus Superboy-Prime.
These two dark Supermen prove that sometimes
Dark Superman?
power corrupts. Absolutely.
He's with my boomstick.
And it's
Well,
our
Sentry's
job to
not really
analyze their
evil.
weapons, armor, and skills to find
He's
out
just
who
got the
will
evil
win
side,
a
the
death
Void.
battle.
Superboy-Prime's evil?
One superhero stands alone at the peak of Marvel Comics. He's a brilliant scientist and friend to all, the Golden Guardian.
I was rooting for Sentry at first, but now I'm rooting for
Sentry.
Superboy-Prime. He's really cool.
Mysterious when all of humanity
I mean, I love Sentry, but
as though he never existed in the
Superboy-Prime is
first
just, I don't know.
If the reason
What
we
if?
forgot Sentry is that he wanted to be forgotten.
to save us from himself.
As the story goes, Robbie Reynolds was just your average, ordinary high school
Fabio,
teen
man.
until the day he accidentally
Once
drank
drank a
the
lake
Super Soldier
filled
Serum.
with
At that
LSD.
moment, Robbie was
Owner
imbued
of
with the power of
Watchdog.
1,000,000 exploding suns, becoming one of the strongest superheroes in existence.
That's gotta be one hell of a bowel movement. And what better way to use his new powers than to become a sentry to all mankind?
In a never-ending crusade against his devious arch-nemesis, the Void.
He's got all your classic, I can't believe he's not Kryptonian superpowers, like super strength, speed, durability, and flight.
He can spot you from miles away, or even hear a butterfly sneeze from across the planet.
Do butterflies sneeze?
Really?
No!
Well,
No, they don't.
Sentry cells absorb and process the sun's rays, and if he wants to, he can fire that solar energy right back at you in a powerful laser, or bend light away to
Molecular
turn
kinesis.
invisible, or use it to make force
I guess that
fields.
means he can
Really, the
manipulate
Sentry can draw
molecules.
power from anywhere and everywhere. When he was forcibly shrunk down to subatomic size, he started pulling energy from the microverse instead. And despite being microscopic, his punches were strong enough to destroy planets, even while holding back.
Sentry can teleport, communicate telepathically, and even read and mess with minds.
He's also a genius with
It's been a while since we've had a good Marvel versus
multiple
DC
Tony Stark
matchup.
and Reed Richards. He's even built
The last one we had was
with an
Martian Manhunter versus
advanced
Silver
AI
Surfer.
constantly
Almost
monitoring
3
the
years
planet
ago
for
at this
threats.
point.
Jesus Christ, he's like the Avengers all in one. Why do there even
Yes, he
need
is.
to be any other superheroes?
Indeed, the Sentry is more than strong enough to take on Marvel's heaviest hitters, like his famous battle with the Green Scar Hulk, where Black Bolt, Iron Man, and Doctor Strange failed. The Sentry was the only one who stood against the Hulk's full power.
He's also battled Thor, who collapsed an infinite number of timelines into one by clashing with another Thor.
The Sentry is incredibly fast, too. He can bend space and speed blitz Ares, who can move within Planck time, the smallest unit of time possible in our universe.
He's stated to be as fast as the Heralds of Galactus, like the Silver Surfer, who once outraced the multiverse blowing up.
Silver Surfer.
The Surfer flew so fast he went back in time. So you'd think Sentry would be able to handle some punk in a trench coat.
But it wasn't so simple. The Void was everywhere that the Sentry wasn't.
If Sentry saved people from a burning
They're one
building,
and the same.
Void would crash an airplane. If Sentry healed a person's broken back, Void would give someone else cancer. What an asshole!
For every good act the Sentry performs, the Void commits an evil one. Because the truth was, the Sentry
one
and
and
the
the
Void
same.
were one and the same.
Plot twist. Turns out Sentry's whole origin story was a lie. Robbie Reynolds wasn't a 60s high schooler beating up bullies like some Jack
Oh, it's
Kirby
just the same
comic.
thing.
In
Oh,
reality,
there we go.
Bob
True
Reynolds
background.
was a schizophrenic meth addict who drank the Sentry serum just to get high. And the Void was, in reality, a malevolent godlike
Okay,
entity
then.
bonded to Bob that was the literal angel of death.
Yes, from the Bible, with Moses and the Pharaoh and the dead firstborns. That's him, apparently.
And this being manifests as the dark side of Bob's shattered psyche, a villainous alter ego with all of his power. Too much power for any one man to handle. The only way to destroy the Void was to also destroy the Sentry.
So Bob did something crazy. With help from Reed's tech, he used his own psychic powers to erase himself from everyone's past, present, and future, including his own.
Warping the perception of reality of every single person on the planet. They would no longer remember him, or even recognize anything remotely related to him. A picture of the Sentry would still technically exist, but in your mind's eye, including Bob's, it isn't there.
Great. Everyone knows repressing your problems always makes them better.
Oh
But
yeah, of
Bob's
course.
memories eventually clawed their way back, in part thanks to Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin, and his desire to somehow control the Void. So Norman had the Thunderbolt adults murder Bob's wife Lindy in order to release, you know, the Angel of Death.
Yeah, try controlling the kind of guy who can throw hands with Molecule Man, who somehow is one of the strongest beings in all of Marvel. At his peak, he's got almost complete control over the multiverse. So yeah, good luck with that one, Norm.
Molecule Man was another mentally unstable god whose power fluctuates based on their self-confidence. In a way, a sort of kindred spirit to Bob.
It was then that Bob discovered the true source of his own powers, his own control over molecules. Yeah, you can do that too.
The Sentry can create and destroy matter on a whim, able to rip you apart at the molecular level, or conjure an entire new reality from scratch, all with just a wave of his hand, like Dr. Manhattan.
He can also regenerate his body from any kind of damage, like being burnt to a skeleton or getting Dr. Manhattan himself.
As long as one single solitary atom remains, the Sentry is unkillable.
And Boyd's got all of this and more, except he doesn't hold back. He can shapeshift, create hurricanes, trap you in darkness, possess your body, and devour your soul.
With his infinite tendrils, the Void takes control of a victim's mind and tortures them with the memories of past traumas and nightmares.
He
That's
killed
insane.
Loki. He wrecked Asgard. The Avengers, the Fantastic Four, the Inhumans, and the X-Men teaming up all at once could barely handle him. Boyd is one of the biggest bads in Marvel. Great fucking job, Norm. I'm something of a moron myself.
The only way forward, the only way for Bob to save everyone, including himself, was to do something he never imagined. Let the Void in.
By refusing to repress his darker half anymore, Sentry and
Damn.
Void merged and became
guy's
stronger than
insane.
the sum of their parts.
One being, now free to finally live his life without the crushing weight of self-hatred and fear.
Maybe, but this is the Void we're talking about. What if Bob just has a new puppet master who's only letting him think he's in control?
As long as the Void exists, it's just another revolution in that same endless cycle. It remains to be seen whether even death itself can break that wheel.
He'll be back. Sentry is gone, but not forgotten. He'll never be forgotten again.
That guy's insane. He's
Do you
terrifying.
believe a man can fly?
Yeah, Wiz, but in the pages of DC Comics, everyone in their irradiated six-dimensional gorilla mother can do it.
Well, what about in the real world? Not Earth 1 or Earth 2, but our own Earth. Earth Prime.
The Earth of you, me, and Clark Kent. A totally normal boy from New England
He's the same
who
height
just
as me.
happened to share a name with that comic book
I might be
character.
taller than
Mere
that now.
coincidence.
Not sure.
That is, until the day Clark took a leap of faith.
Signature
and
catchphrase.
believed he
It's
could
prime
fly.
time.
And
I
he
love
did.
that.
Surprise, surprise, Clark was actually from the planet Krypton, which apparently exists in our universe now. Anyway, the real Superman, the one from all those comics he loved, showed up just in time to give him the skinny on being Superboy. Wait, he could have chosen me! I believe I can fly!
No.
Oh. Clark had all your classic Kryptonian
Oh,
powers.
boomstick.
Flight, heat vision, microscopic and telescopic sight, Arctic breath. It was the dream that every little boy had finally come true.
Ow, just in time for his universe, our universe, to be annihilated literally 1 month later in DC Comics Armageddon. The Crisis on Infinite Earths. Wiz, we're canonically dead since 1986 apparently.
With everyone he knew and loved gone, Clark took shelter in a pocket dimension with other cosmic refugees. Now an anachronism in DC's new, rebooted, post-crisis continuity, Clark was forced to watch as the comics landscape changed before his eyes. As stories became darker and morally complex, as heroes failed to be the paragons of good he saw them as in his childhood.
As someone else got to be Superboy.
Some people can't stand change. Can't stand to see a world that doesn't look the way it did when they were a child. The day needed to be saved by Superboy. The real Superboy. Superboy-Prime.
So he did what any Superboy would do. Punch really hard. He punched his way out of the
retcon
dimension so
punch.
hard, the shockwaves rippled through the universe and retconned DC Comics. Superboy was
A
back,
retcon
and he
punch.
was gonna fix comic books forever.
That's an insane
Hell
move,
yeah.
by the way.
No matter how many fake heroes got in his way.
Oh shit! Superboy-Prime isn't just your ordinary Kryptonian. Oh no, he's pre-crisis.
As in, from before the Crisis on Infinite Earths. A time when comics were a bit more comical.
When Superman could sneeze solar systems apart or tow a galaxy of planets behind him like it was nothing.
Or clashed with another Kryptonian so hard, they generated enough power to restore an infinite number of timelines.
Get ready to hear that word a lot. My favorite is the time Superman flew so fast he broke the light barrier, the time barrier, and even the bonds of infinity. I wonder if these writers ever imagined this bullshit would feed nerd arguments for the next half century. Not that I'm complaining, so I get paid.
Prime would know. He is
Yeah.
a self-described
That's why we're all
power
here.
scaler's dream.
Huh. You think he's heard about us?
We can only hope not. As a
Yeah.
Kryptonian with an ultra-dense
Wouldn't be
molecular
surprised if he
structure,
has,
he should
though.
also share many of the same resistances, like being transmuted to stone, having his atomic bonds weakened, or getting his energy drained. Kryptonians like Superman can withstand more
memory?
esoteric
How you say
attacks
that?
too. They
I
can
don't know.
actively resist mental attacks by outthinking them, and their souls can resist being destroyed.
All thanks to Earth's good old yellow sun fueling his cells. And unlike that post-crisis super fraud who gets weaker without sunlight, Prime's got it covered.
With a suit of armor made from the corpse of the Anti-Monitor, which constantly feeds him solar energy, literally wearing the pelt of the monster who destroyed his universe, just to be better and stronger than Superman.
Because that's what he thinks he is. Superman with better feats and scaling. Superman, but real.
Superman, if he was a fucking idiot. Okay, sure, he has the same hyper-efficient brain that all Kryptonians have, but when it came to being a superhero, he was a violent, immature moron.
Exactly what you'd expect from a kid who never grew up and never learned to hold back. Instead of saving Earth's heroes, he started massacring them. And let's be real, there's a part of him that knows that editorial will just bring them all back eventually.
He's battled the Doom Patrol, Justice Society, Teen Titans, and 3 Flashes at once. He effortlessly murdered an alternate universe Justice League, and even killed his rival, Connor Kent, the new Superboy. Even as other Kryptonians grew in power to become comparable to their pre-crisis iterations, Prime still held an advantage because he never held back.
Like the time he tore apart the Monarch's armor, accidentally unleashing the Big Bang in his face, destroying the universe, and he was fine.
Or the time a Guardian of the Universe blew himself up in an attempt to stop Prime, blasting him into the multiverse atom by atom, and that only made Prime stronger.
Or the time he fought a potential future version of himself who became a god of time. And instead of teaming up, Prime stupidly attacked him and accidentally retconned themselves both out of existence.
Which sent him home, back to his original universe, our universe. Except now everyone he knew, his parents, his girlfriend Lori, had been reading his comics. They knew what he had become, and they were terrified.
Once again, forced to watch as his heroes progressed without him, he pored over comic after comic, learning everything about DC.
And a little bit of Marvel.
Only to
Really?
discover his worst possible
Awesome.
nightmare.
Not only would he never get to be Superman, he wasn't even a super villain that people liked. Turns out, power levels aren't everything.
So, naturally,
And a
he
little bit
flew
of
to
Marvel.
DC
It's awesome.
headquarters and attacked the people writing his own comic.
Like some infinitely recursive meta hell.
Prime had become a whiny, petulant, reactionary fanboy. Wiz, you think he's the guy posting on our Reddit?
And at the peak of his violent temper tantrum, he murdered the Golden Age Superman. The original Superman. Action Comics #1. The first superhero.
Instead of restoring DC's glorious past, Prime beat it to death. He needed to change.
And that opportunity came when this alternate universe Jokerized Batman Who Laughs threatened to destroy all of reality.
Prime was drafted to help save the day, and it turned out he was the only Superboy who could.
Remember that time Prime punched reality so hard he retconned DC Comics? Turns out that was no coincidence. Due to his repeated excursions across the multiverse, Prime became a space-time anomaly, and he slowly learned how to manipulate reality itself with his fists.
I guess you could call it his retcon punch.
At first, its effects were random, like bringing Jason Todd back to life or restoring Beast Boy's memories. But he started to use it to rewrite continuity to fix the evil universes of the Batman Who Laughs.
Giving them and all the characters inside of them happy endings. In a weird way, that's what Superman has always done, right? Punch the bad guy so hard he saves the day.
Prime can punch hard enough to enter the time stream, seemingly exit the comic medium entirely, and even defeat the nigh-omnipotent Darkest Knight.
Who was powerful enough to beat Perpetua? The goddess who created all of DC Comics, the whole shebang. And Superman Prime hit the Darkest Night so hard, he erased his entire evil multiverse.
A feat that no one actually saw happen. Prime's first true act of heroism was one that he did selflessly, and it was the first step toward becoming a true hero.
The kind of hero that Superman always secretly knew he could be. A hero who could someday get his own issue #1. A hero like, well, Superman.
Maybe one day Prime will truly believe in himself, just like he once believed he could fly.
Well, good for him.
All right, the combatants
Prime's
are
got
set,
this.
and we've run
He's
the
gonna
data
win.
through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
It's time for a death battle.
This city won't last much longer. Quit while you're behind, kid.
And mess up a superhero crossover? No way, Torque. Onomatopoeia coming right up!
Whiff. I like this music.
You're dealing with someone who has the power of 1,000,000 exploding suns.
Big mistake, dipwad.
That just makes him stronger. It's prime time. Retcon punch, I think.
Are you kidding me?
A train.
Another dark Superman fraud? Boring! It's cool when I do it.
Ah. Yeah, because you're one too. I wonder what the name of the soundtrack is for this fight. I forgot to check.
Please, stop hitting me.
He'll kill you. I'll kill you. To death.
I'll kill you to death.
Bye-bye, Bob. It's time to play.
Good boy. Whoa. Come on, Prime.
Okay, you weren't joking. Definitely a crisis level threat. Luckily, so am I.
Run all you want. If Bob couldn't escape me.
What hope do you have, boy? Afraid of the Dark Clark? What kind of a hero are you?
That reminds me of Phoenix versus Raven.
Whatever happened to Lori?
Come on.
It's over, Clark. There is no happy ending. Not for you. Not for me. Not for anyone else. In the void. Haven't you ever read a comic book, you big freaking nerd? There's always a happy ending.
Yeah. Retcon punch.
Bob?
Huh?
They kept talking about the Sentry. Bad dream?
No idea, Lindy. Best sleep I've had in years. Crisis averted. I don't think I've ever seen someone beaten to death so wholesomely before.
Let's break this down into 3 chapters: their strength,
Nice.
intelligence, and powers.
As with any flying brick fight, the first question you gotta answer is, who's stronger?
Prime and
Crisis
Sentry are
averted.
naturally 2 of the heaviest hitters in DC and Marvel, more than capable of matching and surpassing Herald-level opponents like Superman and Thor.
Who are both strong enough to create and destroy an infinite number of timelines with their clashes. Just absolute wacky bullshit like that.
So in order to pick a winner, we have to take a close look at the strongest beings they fought: Molecule Man and the Darkest Knight.
Sentry beat the crap out of Molecule Man, but remember, Eminem's power can fluctuate a lot, and when he fought Sentry, he wasn't at his full power, so we can only scale this so far.
But Prime overpowered the Darkest Knight after the Mad Bat had absorbed the powers of both Perpetua and, what do you know, Dr. Manhattan, both of which alone could threaten all of DC Comics.
And unlike with Molecule Man, there's nothing to suggest the Darkest Knight was holding back. In a straight brawl, Prime takes the edge in strength. But muscles aren't everything. Maybe Sentry could figure out a way around Prime's brawn with his intelligence.
While Prime does possess a super advanced Kryptonian brain,
That was
he clearly
awesome.
does not use it to its full extent.
It's less that he's dumb and more that he's a teenager and has a habit of crashing out.
The Sentry, on the other hand, has been compared to Tony Stark and Reed Richards, some of the most intelligent people in all of Marvel Comics.
Sure, he mentally struggles with the whole Void thing, which sucks for him, but losing control to the Void only makes him more dangerous.
And as the Merge Sentry, he's operating at his peak.
That's who that
fully in
was.
control of his powers.
I was-
In a
I was
test of
confused
wits
'cause
and
I was like,
wills,
who's
the
that?
Sentry was the more
When he had the red
But
suit
the
on,
main
I was like, who's
question in
that?
this matchup had to do with their batshit insane powers.
With the Sentry's ability to reshape molecular matter and warp perception of reality to such an incredible degree, his powers seem much more versatile than Prime's. Prime may be stronger, but heat vision, frost breath, and Kryptonian punches aren't going to do much in the long run against someone who can regenerate from a single atom.
But pre-crisis Kryptonians have actually resisted having their molecules torn apart before, and Prime should be no different. So it's not like Sentry was ever going to just Doc Manhattan him away.
Prime could still be worn down. Kryptonians have incredible stamina, but we know that sustained damage will eventually knock them out or kill them.
Unless Prime could find a way around Sentry's insane regeneration, he was toast.
Luckily for Prime, his ability to retcon away your history and mess with your old timeline was actually something Sentry had no specific resistance to.
Not only that, it was something he's been affected by in the past.
Like the time the Scarlet Witch rewrote all of reality during House of M. Bob's continuity was rewritten like everyone else's.
Or the time Absorbing Man had the powers of a cosmic cube and warped Sentry's personal reality. Shit, Moonstone literally describes it as a reality punch.
Now, Sentry's psionic power could theoretically retcon himself from Prime's perception of reality. However, this feat required assistance from Reed Richards, and it's unlikely he could pull it off mid-fight.
Pre-crisis Kryptonians also resist a lot of mind manipulation anyway, so good luck trying.
Now, Prime hasn't always had the most perfect control over his retcon punch, so he might need more than one blow to finish the job.
But Prime was more than capable of powering through Void's scariest abilities.
Like having his soul eaten, or being cut off from sunlight. I guess that Edgelord solar armor came in handy after all.
In short, Prime could resist everything Sentry could throw at him, but Sentry couldn't do the same. Prime takes the final edge in powers.
With
Yep.
no way to easily put him down, Prime would eventually muscle his way through and retcon the Void away for good.
Sorry, Bob. Defeat was
All right,
unavoidable.
let's see who's
The
next.
winner is Superboy-Prime.
Oh, hey, my pizza's here.
Oh no,
The winner is Superboy-Prime.
I knew it.
Letter to the editors? Oh yeah, I win.
So he's like
That's right.
Deadpool.
You hack frauds really tried to lowball me, but I checked the clock and it's prime time, baby. Now, personally, that intelligence section was such a gimme. I don't crash out. I'm a tragic hero grappling
Who's
with
playing
real,
him?
intense emotion. I can be smart anytime I want. But anyway, don't subscribe, don't join as a member, don't watch Death Battle, read my comics. Prime out.
Next
All right,
time
who's
on
next?
Death Battle.
Oh, Aang versus the Traveler. Okay, finally. What an awesome battle, guys. It's been a while since we've had a good Marvel versus DC matchup. I really enjoyed this one. It was so worth the wait. And the part at the end where Superboy Prime came in and like started doing his own talking and talking about his stats and his intelligence and stuff was so funny. It's not something I was expecting, and like, yeah. But I guess he's like kind of like DC's version of Deadpool if he can like rewrite his own existence and everybody else's and stuff. But has Deadpool ever done something like that? Because he's a fourth wall breaker, I know, and so is he, I guess, because he broke the fourth wall in this at the end of the death battle. And that ending was really sweet, guys, where he like rewrote Sentry's existence and he said, "Crisis averted." That was really nice. Nice touch. And yeah, but overall, I really enjoyed this death battle. And next time we have Aang versus the Traveler, which we're finally getting. I was wondering when it was going to come out. I wonder what's going to be the next one after that. I was kind of hoping the next one after this episode would be Luce versus Anne, because I heard somebody say that. And so I got really excited, but I wasn't. I was cautious. Wasn't getting my hopes up too high. But they are going to do Luce versus Anne eventually. I know they will. And also, I looked at the battle score for this episode, and it's called Miracle Man. It sounded really good. I'm going to listen to it once it gets officially released. And like I said, I really enjoyed this episode of Death Battle. It was so worth the wait. And it was sprite animated, so yeah, I like the sprite fights. We got one earlier with Bakugo versus Reze, so you guys know. And yeah, I really enjoyed this episode, guys, and I hope they do more Marvel versus DC matchups in the future. I hope this isn't the only one we're getting this season, because the last one we got was Martian Manhunter versus Silver Surfer, which was almost 3 years ago at this point. Might even be 3 years now. I haven't checked the date on it, but yeah, it came out. It came out in either June or July of 2023. I know that. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was almost 3 years ago at this point, guys. But you guys know. And yeah, but like I said, I really enjoyed this episode of Death Battle. And next time we have Aang versus the Traveler, which I don't know who's going to win that fight. But I'm really excited for Kamen Rider Geats versus Nero, the one that won the matchup that won the Death Battle Champions Island last year. I'm really excited for that one, because we'll finally have a Kamen Rider character on Death Battle. I have a feeling they're going to do Captain America versus Kamen Rider Ichigo eventually. I feel like they're going to do that matchup eventually too, because it's really popular. And yeah, but I have no idea who the Kamen Riders are. I mean, I've heard of them because I've heard of Captain America versus Kamen Rider Ichigo, of course. But like, is it an anime or is it a video game series? I'd have to look it up. And do they all ride motorcycles? Because it's called Kamen Rider, so it makes sense. So yeah. And the voice actors did an amazing job voicing these characters. Like, I really like Prime's voice. Let me go to the description real quick and see who played him. Sean Chiplock. I've heard that name. It sounds familiar. He might have played somebody I've seen before. Philip Sacramento played Sentry. And yeah, that was such an awesome fight, guys. It was great. What did you guys think of it? Let me know down in the comments below. But real quick, I'm gonna check and see when Martian Manhunter versus Silver Surfer was, because I know it was almost 3 years ago at this point, but I just had to be sure. I'm watching this on my TV, by the way. I have an Amazon Fire Stick. Martian Manhunter versus Silver Surfer.
Getting that from YouTube.
This episode of Death Battle.
Sorry about that, guys. August 28th, 2023. That's when it came out. So yeah, like I said, I knew it. Yeah, I knew it almost 3 years ago at this point. So yeah, in a little less than 2 months. So yeah. All right, guys. Wait a minute. Let me search it up one more time. Martian Manhunter versus Silver Surfer.
Getting that from YouTube.
This episode of Death
August 28th, 2023. And today's June 28th, so 2 months from today. 2 months from today it'll officially be 3 years old. So yeah, there's that. That's the last Marvel versus DC matchup we've had. So it's been a while. So yeah, it's nice to take a break from those. You don't want to do too many of them. But yeah. Alright guys, what did you think of this episode of Death Battle? I really enjoyed it. And who did you want to win? Who do you think should have won? And do you agree with the outcome? Do you agree with the outcome or not? Let me know down in the comments below. And if there's nothing else, that is all I have for now. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please be sure to give this video a like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe if you're new. And yeah, if there's nothing else, that is all I have for now. And also be sure to check out my last reaction video, link in the description below. And yeah, that's all I have for now, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. This is Reaction C50 signing out. Peace out, everyone.